Hi guys, so it's been a long time since I've done a YouTube video, but I want to start doing them again. I was thinking about the stuff that I do on the internet and how I'd like to do more, but I spend a lot of my day with words and writing and screens and stuff, so I was like, YouTube I think is a good way for us to have some face-to-face chat and stuff. So I have almost no idea how to use the software and stuff that I'm using, so bear with me while I figure that out. So today's video, I'm just going to start with what's on my bookshelf, because I like speaking about what I'm reading and I want to hear what other people are reading and stuff. I think that's a good place to start. So the first book on my shelf is The Lore of Scotland. This is a compilation by two different people who I've never heard of, but I've got it for research, basically, for the novel I'm writing at the moment, which is called North of the End. There will be links, obviously, and there's a lot of places that I know are near where I grew up and stuff, and I'm like, it's a weird story, that's cool. And as you can see, I've got a lot of stickies in it, because I'm noting things that I might want to use. So the second book on my shelf is Tricksters Choice by Tamora Pierce. I don't know if you can see that there. I got this in a charity shop for like £2, and I think it was just initially because I saw the cover. It's really pretty, it's got this gold writing and stuff. So Tamora Pierce, it's a young adult sort of fantasy. She's written a lot of stuff. I've never read anything by her before, although I do recognise her name. So this story is a sort of spy, sort of like fantasy thriller, I guess. I've only read like that much so far, so not a lot. I think on a sentence level, it's not quite up to what I like to look for in books. I'm not blown away by like the style and the language, but the story seems really good fun. I like that it's a fantasy setting, but one of the first things you learn about the main character is that she has blue hair. So yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes. Thanks, if you just eat that there. Cool, so the next book on my shelf isn't fiction. It is the Can't Sleep colouring book. I got this when I went to visit my family in Aberdeen. We went to Stonehaven and went around all these cute little shops. Wow. And I just thought, oh my god, it's so pretty, look at it. It's full of all these really nice patterns and like owls and clouds and teacups, the intricate stuff, which looks like it would be really fun to colour in. And I'm an artist, but I don't do a lot of art because I'm really rusty and really out of practice, and I find it really frustrating to try and draw stuff from scratch anymore. Because I don't really have the time for it. So I thought this is a really good way to still have fun and do art stuff, but like not take it seriously. So the next book I have is The Noonday Demon, An Anatomy of Depression. It's non-fiction. I'm using it for research because I'm using the theme of depression in some of my work. It's pretty heavy stuff, obviously. It's pretty heavy, full stop. But yeah, I was just interested. It was another charity shop buy. Like, it's got stories from all over the world and people in lots of different places and stuff who've experienced depression, and I just think it would be really interesting because obviously it's something that has so many different causes and treatments, and I was just like, yeah, that sounds cool. So next I've got Nick Harkaway, Tiger Man. So I love Nick Harkaway. The Gone Away World, which was his first novel as far as I know, is one of my favourite books of all time, and there's this sort of like epic sci-fi with all these really like wacky science things, and just like really heart-wrenching at times, and with this amazing twist and that, and it's one of my all-time favourite books. So I've picked up anything that I've seen from Nick Harkaway since. It's very different, it seems, from his last two books, the second of which being Angel Maker. A lot of themes of fatherhood, and it's about this relationship between this soldier and this sort of native boy on the island of Mancrew. And I think there's a sort of superhero element, which is why I think he is Tiger Man. Yeah, I've only read a couple of pages, but based on how great Nick Harkaway is, like on like a macro story level, like his stuff is really well plotted out, but also like his sentence level writing is just beautiful, and just has me in awe, so I'm pretty excited to see what this is like. Now the last book on my shelf is the only one I've actually finished. It's called You by Austen Grossman. I actually got this for my birthday years ago, like a few years ago, and I've only just finished it now, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a really slow start, which I think is why I didn't finish it for so long, and it's kind of hard. Like, they introduce a lot of characters in the beginning, and I don't think they differentiate very well, but once you get into it, it's really good, it's really compelling, it's really cool to see a sort of literary book, basically, about games, and about what a game is, and stuff like that, and it's got some really cool concepts. Like, the characters, I think, are maybe its weakest point, although they do have these cool sort of like connections with like the video game characters and stuff, but I think that's probably intentional. The characters are meant to be almost like inserts to mirror like it is in games. I'm not sure it's effective, but I think that was maybe the intention. But yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed it. I think I had some really cool ideas, and I definitely recommend it. So just to finish off, I'm just going to give a quick update on where I am with writing. I have one book out at the moment, it's called State of Flux. I'm working on my second, which is called North of the End. And this is where I'm at. I hand wrote my first notebook. That's the second one. That's the third one, which meant that once I was finished and I'm starting revision now, I had to type it all up. And there was a lot of stuff in there that I just like meandered, didn't have a plan, and I realised that I'm going to have to cut. So typing it up was an ordeal. It's taken me a couple of months, but it's finally done. It's finally all in manuscript format in my boxes here. And I'm really excited because it's done. And I finally know how long it is as well. It's 75,000 words, which is a bit longer than I thought, which is good. And I've also figured out that the chunk of bad writing is actually in the minority now, because I was worried that it was like about half, and I was just like, oh, it's going to be so much work. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my manuscripts. I have it finally all printed out and ready. So I've already dissected it, basically, as I was typing it up and made all my notes. Let me know what you guys are reading, if you have read any of these books and what you thought. I'd be really interested to hear, especially about you, because I should know everything that happens in it. And goodbye.